Shit. That peace treaty is going to collect minerals for Americans, white, rich ass Americans, and y'all are going to give it to them hand over fist for a fake ass peace treaty.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. So
lovelies, I came across this Skepticism for you and I thought to share. People are reacting to the fact that Orange Man decided to go to the Republican of Congo to how what they call peace treaty. The thing is that this African president does not even know what they're getting themselves involved with. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for informative and educational purposes. The fact remains that Congo is a country of concern. People really need to be concerned about what is happening, but it's not the way at which they're going about it. Let's dive into
This is seen to be a business deal rather than a peace deal, and we heard Donald Trump say this is all about peace.
Also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody.
In the meantime, we've seen fighting rage in eastern DRC yesterday and today, right on the border with Rwanda and Burundi. We've been told that Rwandan troops have been seen fighting alongside M23 rebels, and Burundian troops were fighting on the side of the Congolese army. So it is very difficult to believe that these accords will bring about peace. We saw the DRC and Rwandan presidents sign a peace deal in Qatar and Doha last month, early November, and we also saw the process begin in DC in June. But fighting has continued, and both leaders have made it clear that they will continue to fight until their aims, their goals are met. Tshisekedi, the Congolese president, said just 2 days ago that he will continue to fight until Rwandan troops leave the Congo. We've also seen the Rwandans say that they will continue to engage until Hutu militias, who are synonymous with the violence of the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, are completely disarmed. All of these goals are very far-fetched and will be very difficult to accomplish over the next few months, let alone in the next few days. But what we do know is that the DRC is expected to sign potentially a minerals deal with the US over the next few days. We've also seen some other African leaders present at the signing, including the president of Angola, who has his own deal that he wants to sign or complete with the US that he started with the Biden administration to develop a pipeline for minerals out of the capital of Angola. We also have seen the Kenyan president there. William Ruto, the president of Kenya, had a huge state dinner and welcome in the last months of the Biden administration. And we can expect that he's now trying to foster or continue that goodwill with the Trump administration. So everyone there has goals, has an agenda, has something that they want to accomplish, but peace does not seem to be something that is at least tangibly accessible at the moment. And the people on the ground in the DRC have told us consistently that they are just fighting for survival as these meetings continue on without any tangible progress.
Shit. That peace treaty is going to collect minerals for Americans, white, rich ass Americans, and y'all are gonna give it to them hand over fist for a fake ass peace treaty. It is so fucking disappointing to see Africans bowing down to a white man thinking that he is going to solve your problems. No, he's gonna create more. He's gonna create more in your fucking countries when y'all should have been having each other's backs, instead of pandering to the white man for minerals from a fucking continent that belongs to nobody but y'all and people who descend from y'all. But no, y'all asses get on a fucking podium and praise him for doing a peace treaty that won't do nothing but benefit him. You see what's going on in Israel and Gaza right now, right? Their whole little ceasefire ain't a fucking ceasefire. Ukraine and Russia ain't no fucking ceasefire. And here y'all fucking come. DRC and Rwanda, y'all fucking disappointing. Rwanda mostly. But DRC, y'all should have never caved to this shit. This should have been handled in-house. Y'all should have got with y'all brothers and sisters in other places, gathered together, and got Rwanda on the fucking right side of history. I can't fucking see that shit. That man
witness a historic moment for Africa. My question to you is when we will see the withdrawal of Rwandese troops from DRC and when we will see the real peace, because even now we are witnessing this historical peace deal, but people have been still killed in DRC because the troops continue there. Because this peace to be real, the troop needs to withdraw from DRC. When will we see the withdrawal?
I think you're going to see very quick and very quickly. I think you're going to see things happen. This is something that was not doable, according to a lot of people, and not only is it doable, I think it's going to be a great miracle. These two gentlemen are leaders, they're great leaders, and they're going to prove that in the coming months and years, and I think you're going to see very immediate results. I have confidence that that's what's going to happen. Thank you very much, everybody.
This is the news that you consume. We have reports that nearly 200 Congolese refugees have actually fled to Rwanda. A total of 190 Congolese refugees, mostly women and children, fled to Rwanda in the Rushinza district on Wednesday, December 3rd, seeking safety after intense fighting between the AFC and the M23 rebels and the Congolese army in South Kivu province. This is coming as the Rizana district mayor, Fano Siadinhebe, confirmed the development of to news sources on Wednesday evening, noting that the groups of refugees are crossing to Rwanda through the Bagrama Kamalo border post. He said they are currently being hosted by a transit center that has been based in Niasur. I'm be butchering that. But it is true that the group of 190 Congolese refugees from parts of DR Congo bordering Bramakam sector has crossed into Rwanda, stated the district mayor. Most of them said they were fleeing from ongoing insecurity. Since yesterday, we have received them as our country is always open to people seeking refuge. So the mayor explained that the refugees have been provided with emergency support, while further procedures will continue on Friday when they get settled. So this is the news that's coming out of the DR Congo. I will keep you updated. I hope they find refuge and safety in Rwanda. But this is the news that you consume.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo should be without a doubt the single richest country on earth. Beneath its soil lies $24 trillion in untapped minerals. That is more untouched wealth than the United States, China, and all of Europe combined. 70% of the world's cobalt comes from the Congo. It has the second largest rainforest, the second largest diamond reserves, and the third largest copper reserves in the entire world. And it has a river that could produce more hydropower electricity than the United States and China could combined. If this fortune had actually been used to build the Congo, the average Congolese citizen will live better than most Americans. Instead, today, the Congo is the top 5 most dangerous and poorest countries in the world. The average income is $1.50 a day. A child born in the Congo today has a 1 in 5 chance of dying before the age of 5. 2-year-olds weigh less than newborns. They are literally eating mud to stave off hunger pangs. Since the late 1990s, more than 6 million people have died in wars that the rest of the world barely knows anything about. Is so common that the United Nations calls the Congo the capital of the world. This is the story of how the richest land on the planet has become the biggest humanitarian catastrophe of our lifetime. And the story begins on June 30th, 1960. This was the day that what was then the Belgian Congo, one of the most brutal colonial systems on earth, turned over power to the very first democratically elected prime minister, a 34-year-old former postal clerk named Patrice Lumumba. They even had an official ceremony marking the transition of power. During this ceremony, the King of Belgium and the former ruler of the Congo delivers a speech dripping with racism and patronization. He basically tells the Congolese people that they should be grateful that Belgians civilized them, and he praises his uncle Leopold II as a genius. And if you aren't aware, King Leopold II is the man who personally owned the Congo and is responsible for killing over 10 million of them. But this is when Lumumba does something so unexpected that it will go down as one of the most famous speeches in African history. Lumumba was not scheduled to speak that day, but he walks up to the microphone and he says in French, "We have known exhausting labor exacted in exchange for wages that allowed us neither to eat enough, nor to clothe ourselves, nor to live decently, nor to raise our children as beloved beings. We have known the mockery, the insults, the blows we had to endure morning, noon, and night because we were Negroes. Who will forget the shootings in which so many of our brothers perished, or the cells into which they were brutally thrown into for no longer wishing to submit to a regime of injustice, oppression, and exploitation? And needless to say, the Belgian king did not like this at all. The Belgian newspapers called this speech an act of war, and the very same day the CIA sends an urgent message to Washington. Lumumba is in power and he is the most dangerous man in Africa. On July 5th, 5 days after the Congo's independence, the Congolese army rises up and mutinies against the Belgian officers still in control. The soldiers believed that with independence would come better pay and promotions, but the Belgian officers told them that nothing was going to change. So Congolese soldiers rose up and started beating and killing white officers all across the country. And this sent the 100,000 remaining Belgians into a complete panic. So the Belgian government uses this as a reason to send in paratroopers and to start reoccupying Congolese cities, namely Katanga, a Congolese province that holds 70% of the country's wealth. Belgium takes over Katanga and another city called South Kasai and establishes them as independent states. The Congo had just got their independence and now Belgium is already reoccupying them. And to make matters worse, the newly elected Congolese president is a puppet backed by the CIA. And under the CIA's direction, he tells the soldiers not to follow the orders of Lumumba. So now you have Prime Minister Lumumba with no money, no army, and a new independent country that is being taken over by Belgium. So Lumumba does the only thing he can do. He asks the world for help. First, he goes to the United States for help, but obviously that's not happening. So then he goes to the United Nations, and the United Nations agrees to send in 20,000 personnel called the Blue Helmets. But what Lumumba would soon realize, and what would later be admitted to in declassified memos, is that the Blue Hats were never sent to help Lumumba. They were sent to ensure his defeat. The Blue Hats literally stand by and watch as Belgium continues to take over. So by mid-August, 6 weeks after Congo's independence, Lumumba makes one last attempt to reach out for help, and he reaches out to the Soviet Union. And within weeks, 16 large Soviet transport aircraft arrive with over 100,000 tons of food, medicine, and humanitarian personnel. Now, it's important to remember that Lumumba was not a communist, but the Soviets were just the only ones that were willing to help. But to America, receiving help from the Soviets was a declaration of war. So within 72 hours of the first Soviet plane touching down, President Eisenhower gives the CIA the green light to assassinate Lumumba. The President of the United States personally orders a murder, and the CIA immediately begins Operation Project Wizard. Their first attempts to take out Lumumba were exactly the stereotypical tropes you'd expect in a spy movie. Special agents were told to sneak into his bathroom and slip a tube of poison toothpaste into his bathroom. Another scheme was to inject his food with deadly diseases like anthrax and tuberculosis. We're talking literal James Bond evil villain movie type stuff. But luckily for Lumumba, they could never get close enough to pull any of these attempts off. But that's not even the wildest part. In September of 1960, 3 months after the Congo's independence, the Congolese president, backed by the CIA, goes on national radio and publicly fires Lumumba as prime minister. So what does Lumumba do? He immediately goes to the radio station himself and publicly fires the president. So now you have the Congo's prime minister and their president both fired by each other. Enter a young army officer named Joseph Desiree Mobutu. Mobutu was the army chief of staff and he was Lumumba's former private secretary, but he was now bought and paid for by the CIA and he was backed by Belgium. And on September 14th, Mobutu announces a coup to regain control of the country. And within hours of the announcement, the CIA delivers Mobutu a huge sum of money to pay the Congolese army. So with the power of the army behind him, Mobutu places Lumumba under house arrest, guarded by UN troops and Mobutu soldiers. Then on November 27, 1960, like another scene from a Hollywood blockbuster, Lumumba plans his escape. In the dark of the night, Lumumba sends out a decoy car, which is then followed by the guards. Then Lumumba, his wife, and his child slip out in another car and they head east to where he still has political support. But after a few days on the run, Mobutu's troops hunt him down and they capture him. Then after beating him, they throw him in prison, where he remained until January 17th, 1961, at which point he's forced onto another plane and is told that he's being transferred to a different prison. But he never makes it to another prison. They instead land in Katanga, the wealthiest land in the Congo controlled by Belgium. And upon exiting the plane, Lumumba is driven to a secluded village where his life is ended at the hands of a Belgian firing squad. What happens next is nothing short of diabolical and completely criminal. Lumumba's body is completely dismembered and then dissolved in acid to cover up the crime. The only parts that didn't dissolve were his teeth, which were kept as souvenirs. For decades, the story that they told was that he was captured and killed by angry villagers. After Lumumba's murder, the United States installs Mobutu as the puppet leader. And for the next 30 years, they fully support him as he plunders the Congo of its wealth, enriching himself and, of course, enriching the West. After Mobutu's death, the Congo has been in a constant state of chaos with no real leadership, which brings us to where we are today. Today, the Democratic Republic of the Congo should be the richest country on earth. Yet instead, Congolese children are being buried alive in cobalt mines. Mothers are eating mud, and fathers are making $1.50 a day to enrich Western corporations. And none of this is on accident. The Congo is not a failed state. It is a crime scene. Except in this story, justice has never been served. The criminals are still there, picking away at the corpse of a nation they murdered, feeding off of its wealth to this very day.
Like, seriously, lovelies, in as much as I will not dispute the fact that Congo is a country that really need, a very fast help, I will also not dispute the fact that this peace treating is another way for these Westerners to keep on, taking and taking and taking without returning nothing to Congo. We all know that Congo has actually been, and like they're all involved in genocide. Like there's genocide happening in Congo. It's been happening for a very long time. Like it's something that has been happening even before that of Palestine, right? These innocent younger generations, these innocent young people were actually used as a means to keep on, as a tool for Western countries to use getting and importing all of the natural resources. Like it's been said that most of the natural resources that's been used to produce most of the electric cars or even phones that we all use and manage, most of them are gotten from Congo as a result of the sacrifices of these innocent people and the genocide that is happening in Congo and all of that. I won't dispute that fact. But the thing is that these guys that is all out there with their peace whatsoever historically is known for their dubiousness. Like this is just giving the people the real cause of the problems are also there. Like they are all out to seek for peace. Like it's the thing is that during this peace process there is still massacre happening. There is still genocide still ongoing, even though there is an atom of peace whatsoever that is going on. That is to tell you that this has everything to do with transactional. And most of these African presidents and all of that, African leaders, let me just use the word, some of them are the vehicles of whatsoever that is happening. They are the vehicles that most of these people invade in these said countries and keep on stealing their God-given natural resources. This is the reason why Ibrahim Traore have actually vowed to protect its own people. I don't know why these people would not want to work with Ibrahim Traore to actually get to the bottom of this thing happening in Congo. But no, they will rather run to to get them to keep on. And I wouldn't also, be all street, because most of these leaders, some of them are just because of what has been happening to Ibrahim over time with all of the threats here and there, and we all know how he has been attacked for like so many times. So that is to tell you that most of these leaders, most of them, even though they find themselves doing things that they are not even proud of, some of them are under siege. Like some of them are under duress. They are being pressured to actually do whatsoever, and maybe after which they are probably giving peanuts. Some of them sold themselves. Some of them sold their own people just because of maybe trade here and there, peanuts here and there, just like Ibrahim Traore. Why can't these people just work together and get whatsoever that is happening? Why must you keep on allowing people to get to you? Why must you keep on allowing the same people that has been benefiting off you to keep on doing whatsoever they feel that is right for them? The thing is that Congo is supposed to be the richest country in the world. They have about 70% of all of the natural resources. But then again, these are the poorest of the poor. These are the poorest country. JOC happening over 200 years. People have been complaining even before that of Palestine. These guys have always wanted help. But so what is happening with most of these people not behaving or acting just like Ibrahim Traore? Why always behaving like puppets? So I'm just so tired of these people, seriously. I'm tired of them. That's why sometimes when I see whatsoever, I was like, these guys are still enslaved. They're still under slavery. They don't want to be free. Huh? Oh God. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes, so please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload
Me your own
the
thought in
next
the
one.
comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not, support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe, leave a thought, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.